Live. Live. Okay, we're live. We're back. So it'll probably bring up the recording. So I apologize, folks. What appears to have happened is Facebook shut it down because they probably think that the YouTube video, which belongs to Loon's Haven, and I linked to that, there's some issues with Facebook and YouTube. So we got caught on that about a month ago. Not caught. I mean, it's completely legal, but there must be something else that you have to go through to explain how that's working.
Yeah, like jail.
Yeah, exactly. They never. It's funny because they never do shut me off on the actual production side. They just cut you off and don't say anything, and they don't even send you a note later on. Okay, Jim Roy, we're back. Okay,
we're back.
Good. All right, Jim.
We'll get our audience back.
Let me quickly play our commercial for this end of it, and that I own, so they can't screw around with that.
No, we've already been through that once today, so we're good with that.
Yes,
Billy, see all this technical knowledge that you have, and that's the night that we bag it.
All right,
showbiz. Do not adjust your television.
So much new stuff happening at Lee's Family for 2021. Like their huge showyard expansion for more units and plenty of over 500 additional units arriving, including Wildwood, Grand Design, and Montana's. 150 motorhomes like Winnebago and Echo are arriving. Go see them on Route 302 in Windham and at Lee'sFamilyTrailer.com, the fifth wheel capital of New England.
Love how it feels in your home on wheels from Lee's Family Trailer.
You know what? We're getting our audience back. We really have to salute this audience, Bob. We should make the show
loyal people. Okay,
we should make the show free next week because they've been so good.
Yeah, we'll give them a credit on what they paid this week.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Yeah, that'll go over big.
Yeah.
All right.
So Walter said hello again. But was he here in the first half of our show? I didn't see him. Jesse
from Camping World out in East West Hafford.
No, not Camping World.
Oh, Gander
Outdoors. Come on.
Walter's back. Specialist Camping. I almost missed it, and on Bob's birthday, no less. Well, now did you just join? But did you catch the unintended shut off from Facebook? We're back on for the second half. Now we'll do the show in two halves. Jim Roy, Billy, do you know Jim Roy? I've asked you that before, I think once, right? From Silver Moose Restoration. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Hey, wait a minute. Jesse's saying yes. Camping World. It's official. Have they changed to Camping World from Gander?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it says yes. Camping World. It's official.
Explain your comment, Jesse. I don't understand the comment unless you change Gander RV to Camping World. Just so because you wanted to be like, Lee's and Flag RV. I don't know.
So that's interesting. They've changed the Gander.
Yeah. Let's have comments for those of you who were on before the disconnection. Any comments on the campground? It is a beautiful campground, and to be there for 60 years. Some of those sites right on the water. I like the glamping tent. So if I come up for a weekend,
cool. That's cool. That was a nice one.
Waking up that in the morning and going out there and having your breakfast right by the water side. Or how many waterfront lots, either tents or RV lots, do you have up there?
There's 11 right on the water. So there's 11 right on the water's edge, and then we have 3 that are water view across from the water, and then 4 wooded sites. Now we do have 154 sites at the campground, but the majority of them are seasonals. And some of these seasonals, a big majority of them have been there since the campground opened in 1961. Their parents were there, their grandparents, and they've just kind of passed it down. Families, get a site when their kids get older. The older kids get their own site, and it's really a big family out there.
Wow. Okay. So Billy, what's happening is, here's what's happening. Audrey says, I'm interested in checking out those waterfront sites. Could probably bring a group with me. And she travels They travel in groups of like 11 to 15 units. The good news is you have a great place, but what's the other news?
I'm almost fully booked. July and August are pretty solid booked up. So we open May 15th and we close. Well, this year we are actually staying open till October 18th, but we usually close October 15th. So if you want to get
Billy,
in,
walk us around the
okay.
Walk us around the campground map. Give us an idea what you got.
So if you look at the top of the map, that's where you enter the campground. So the bottom of the map is the pond. So that's the water there. So all the sites that are in green are all the seasonals. So when I said that, 130 of the sites are seasonals, you can see that. We have a large overflow parking area. We have a dump station on site because not all of our sites have sewer. We're just too close to the water to have sewer on them. But we do pumping. We have a honey wagon go around to do that. And then we have the dump station. We have a laundromat. We have a rec hall that we do activities like bingo and karaoke. And we do kids crafts every Saturday morning. We have a playground, horseshoe pits that were just redone. They're very nice. And basketball court. And then we have, of course, the campground store where you can get things like beer and soda, ice cream, candy, wood, ice, and we have a cafe, the Lazy Loon Cafe, and we have a wood-fired brick oven for pizza. It's incredible. And all the things in our store and our cafe, you can order right online and we'll deliver it right to your site. So you don't even have to leave your site for that. We have the 3 boat docks. So you can see that 3 different areas that you could have a boat if you brought it. And we have the waterfront sites, water view sites, and wooded sites.
Is the cafe on the water?
No, the cafe is attached to the store.
No. Okay. I thought there was a little cafe just the other side of the border. It was a little cafe just the other side of the border.
She's not old enough to remember.
Marty Robbins.
And actually, I
strong now. We need our audience here.
Wait a minute. One second, though. 1 second. I should come up because I was the horseshoe champion in Somerville, Massachusetts for about 6 years running when I was a young lad, which was several years ago. So go ahead, John. You wanted to catch up on something on some?
Yeah, that song. We need our audience to tell us the title of that song. There was a little cafe just the others. Come on, guys, help us out here. What's the title of that?
The border. Yeah, who's
Marty Robbins.
Randy Murray. Good evening, Randy Murray. Jesse says that campground looks phenomenal. It is, Jesse. That's why we're featuring it. That's we got good taste.
They've got 30 people going to Myrtle. 30.
Who? Audrey?
People going to Myrtle. 30? Audrey. Or 30 rigs or 30 people, Audrey? 30 rigs or 30 people? Wait a minute. So, Bob, the truth.
Heidi just invited me up. So when we do our show up there, Heidi, when we do the show, we'll just bypass Billy here, and I'll
just forget. You just forgot Billy. You're going right to Heidi.
So when we do RVing in New England, direct from the campground, we can have a horseshoe tournament. And we'll see if your guests can beat me. Even at 77 years old, we'll see if they can beat me. Right?
30 rigs and rentals. I've lost count. That's amazing.
Jesse, you haven't said happy birthday yet. And Murray, you haven't said happy birthday yet either. So
wait a minute, but our friend from California, Stressless Camping, Tony said happy birthday.
Tony said
and he joins us. Yeah. So we have people. Bob, we have
bulletin. Jesse Brissett officially. I just lost it.
Where have you been?
What?
I scooped you on that. I told you on that. It's official change happened on Monday.
For websites and everything else to change over, but the new sign is up. Well, congratulations out there.
That is an interesting change.
That is a very interesting development. In fact, I just got a text from your boss, Jesse, your boss's boss, Mr. Bostrom, sent me a nice birthday greeting while we're on the air here. So that was
very
nice.
Campground. Now,
right, who's got some more comments about the video?
Hold on first. We now have a national show. We have people from Maine to California.
We do?
Texas.
Oh, yeah, we got Tony in California.
Texas. Do we have anybody in Florida? Usually have our friend in Florida, Marie or somebody.
Well, we get the fellow from Indiana is not on, from Elkhart. Jim Roy says we need to find some time to check out Loon Haven this summer. Oh, Heidi, here's another thing, Heidi. And I shouldn't speak for Jim, but Jim owns Silver Moose Restorations up in Monmouth, Maine. And he's a really nice guy. In fact, we just got a story. I did a story on him for RV Pro that was published in the March edition.
Show the link.
Great business. I will show you a link. But maybe Jim would bring, if you comped him a cabin or something, maybe he could bring a couple of Airstreams down and talk to your guests about vintage restorations. Cool. I love to find projects for our guests.
Billy, you notice we've pretty much taken over the campground. You notice that?
Yeah, I see that. You guys
we've pretty much taken over. We're going to do a show live every Wednesday night.
Now look at if you had to guess one person who would know the name of the song or is so swift at Googling everything, Mr. Swenson has given the name, and he's right. Come a little bit closer with Jay and the Americans.
That's
and I've
right.
got that.
You're my kind of girl, so big and sister.
Yeah, and I've got
Come
that
a little bit closer. That's right. Thank you. I know he does. Follow him on Facebook.
Can you speak for Heidi? I'm going to have Heidi. I'm going to put something up, but you can speak for Heidi on this. Because you probably already picked up, right? Is that sold out weekend?
Yes. Yep. So we're having that's our big, we're going to celebrate all season long, but that's our big weekend. We have Dave and Daphne from Nashville, Tennessee coming up. They're a country music band. They are amazing. They're coming up to perform for us. We're also going to have a carnival of sorts going on along with a bunch of other events. So that's going to be our big weekend.
You're going to have a carnival. You ought to have John come up. He's a big clown.
If you're going to have Dave and Daffy, you might along with a loon. So you'd have a Daffy and a loony. Daffy Duck and Looney Tunes. Jim Roy says, I love free camping, Bob.
I bet you do.
And Heidi has comped him, by the way. We enjoy having Silver Moose Restorations.
There you go.
Okay. Walter's going back.
Heidi probably thought she was going to sit back with a nice adult beverage in the lounge chair and just watch Billy do her thing. She probably didn't realize she was going to be a part of the show. Did Sandy Davidson? Oh, we got Quebec, Canada.
Who?
Nice.
Sandy Davidson?
International.
Oh, Quebec, Canada. Okay, Bob.
Yeah.
So we got.
Well, Randy, I got your birthday greeting, Randy. And Randy says, happy birthday from Randy and the Pete's crew. How's that for?
So, Bob, we just set a record.
Huh?
We just set a record.
We
have 3 countries tonight. We have Canada, the United States, and New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
We've been in 3 countries before.
Okay, so Audrey did say close to 30 rigs and rentals. I've lost count. Boy, did they give you a raise, Audrey? You were doing 10 or 12 there. Now not that you have to do that much. I hope they doubled your pay. We've been giving out pay raises tonight, Audrey. So if you'd like to have one, we'll be glad to.
We're giving everybody a $1,400 check, and free. Billy, here's how you get all the people come up from Massachusetts. You have an inoculation weekend because in Massachusetts we can't figure out how the hell to get the vaccinations done. So bring us up to Maine, give everybody a shot, and then we come back. We won't have to quarantine.
Sounds good.
Well, some of us can figure out how to get it done because I am fully vaccinated.
Yeah, because you got in under the elderly first program.
But I got in. Yeah, that's true. Jim Roy, I'll have my wife message you for reservations. There you go. Okay. The country shut down last year. We're expanding families up for shenanigans. Billy, where were you when the country shut down last year? Because this is one of those dates everybody's going to remember.
Yeah, I actually I was coming back.
If it's going to embarrass you, you don't have to answer it.
No, it's fine. So I was on my way back from the RVing National School of Campground Management. So I was just coming back from South Carolina when everything happened. You know, it had started right before the Boston show, and then I went to the Augusta camping show, and then in February I went to the RVing school and came back, and that's when it all started. And when everything started, I was on my computer, on my phone for weeks on end, just trying to figure out what we needed to do to make sure that we could still operate, because it was scary. You know, we were at 59 years, and it's scary time to think, are we going to be able to open our doors? And if we weren't able to open our doors, what were we going to do? So that's
And
where
Bob,
I remember it very vividly.
Bob and I were in California at the Winnebago Winter Dealer Meetings, and you know, then we're coming back on the plane the next night on the 12th, and we're hearing all this stuff going on, and then we hear that our colleague that we had dinner with that night, Rick Kessler from RV Business, that he tested positive. We heard that, and we say, how can he find that out? He's still on a plane. He hasn't even gotten back to Michigan yet. And so we were freaking out. And finally, somewhere between Chicago and New York, we talked to him, and he said, no, that's not true. He said, my wife just wants me to quarantine. So here we are at 35,000 feet and wondering what are we going to do? Are we going to be able to get back home, or we're going to have to go to the Cape, or we're going to have to go stay in a hotel, or just what? But I'm sure everybody, audience members, if you want to we only have a few minutes left, but write down where you were this time last year. It's like, if you're over a certain age, you remember where you were when John Kennedy got shot.
Yep. The country shut down last year. We're expanding our families up for shenanigans.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
So we should do this.
Mr. Kessler did call me today. He didn't want to do a text message or an email. He called me personally to wish me a happy birthday.
Okay.
Which you didn't do. By the way, DePietro, you didn't call me to wish me a happy birthday.
You're right, because I was waiting for this. I wrote it down at I wrote it down at 6 o'clock this morning, and Mary Simone even called me at 7 and said, "Hey, it's Zagami's birthday. I'm going to call him a little bit later." And either she called you or texted you.
She did. She did send me a message. You're right.
Yeah.
Did.
But see, the vanity shows up again because he's got a birthday cake to himself. I wouldn't be surprised if we checked with the Postal Service and Zagami wrote birthday cards to himself and then went out and mailed them so he could, with a different handwriting.
Look at May wanted to cook me a nice birthday dinner, and I said, I can't. I've got the show. I mean, I could have backed out of the show. I could have said, I could have left it to you and Billy.
Yeah. And well, you pretty much did.
Yeah. True.
You know, you threw us off the air.
Yeah.
You threw us under the bus. I mean, you know, Dante was in Lawrence. Wow. Dante, that must have been a highlight. You were in Lawrence, Mass when the lights went out. Okay.
Who says that?
Dante was in Lawrence. Bill Sell, he was on his way to a girl camper to talk about a series of events.
Dante, even if you go to Lawrence, Mass, you don't tell people that you go to Lawrence, Mass.
No, you tell people you made it out of Lawrence, Mass.
Right.
Oh, and you know what, Bob? We've got 9 minutes left. Do you think we should probably tell our audience about all the dealers that are now participating in the expo on April 10 and 11, which tickets are now on sale because they can find that out? And then if you don't want to, then I will tell them about the great interview we've got set up with the National Park Service that's going to tell us all about the new app and all the different new features taking place at the park and all the new building that's going to be going on at national parks throughout the United States.
I want you to tell national parks that ties in with this, but let me tell you, Lee's Family Trailer Sales is our platinum sponsor. We have Fuller RV Rentals. We have Campers Inn. We have Majors RV, which is a gold sponsor. Easy Care is a gold sponsor. Seacoast RVs, Longview RV, Mans RV, Cold Springs RV, Pete's RV committed today. We just got Pete's on board today, and I expect 3 or 4 more. I think we have 25 dealers. I expect we'll have 15 dealers on board for that. But 18 main stage. Well, Billy, tell them about your campground site, and the workshops and presentations.
Yeah, so we have several campgrounds signed up, already registered, and their booths are getting built, and they're starting to, get the information out about that. And then we have some really great workshops that we're doing regarding camping, talking about purchasing a campground if you're interested in doing that. A big one is Campground Etiquette, because we have a lot of new or returning campers coming in. We want to talk about that etiquette. And I think that all campers, new, old, returning, will appreciate that, because there's a lot of things that go along with the etiquette part of it. And
okay, hold on a second. I think that campground etiquette part is going to be dedicated to Audrey Foley Egan, because the next week they head to Pirate Land down in Myrtle Beach with 30 people, and she already wrote shenanigans. We give her credit because she could spell the word shenanigans. But Audrey, you should.
Well, maybe she cut and pasted it though.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
spell check too.
Yeah. Buy one ticket, Audrey, and you can have all your 30 people watch on.
Yes.
And speaking about next week, Bill Sell just posted. He says he was on his way to meet the girl campers, Janine Pettit and Diane, to talk about a series of events. Finally, we have the Girl Camper National Expo next week. So if you want to get a flavor for what our expo is going to be, Bill is also producing our expo and the Girl Camper Expo next week. And of course, the bigger event right here, the New England RV and Camping Expo. So, John, tell them quickly what you're doing with the National Park Service. It's going to be great.
So we're talking to a couple rangers tomorrow, and we're keep in mind that we're recording it tomorrow. And but there's so much more going on at the national parks because of the fact that they're smart enough to realize that they've got all these new people coming in as RVers in the last couple of years and for the foreseeable future, but they've got a whole bunch of new programs planned. But they want to let you know that you don't need to restrict yourself to Yellowstone or the Grand Canyon or Acadia. I mean, Acadia is one of the top 10 parks in the entire world right up here in New England. But there's so many smaller parks, and depending upon what your interests are, they're going to be able to tell us all about that. So that's going to be one of the seminars you don't want to miss.
That's a good one. And we have Dante on here, and Dante's going to be doing a seminar with Mia Catano Johnson on campgrounds. Mia, of course, is a campground broker and doesn't buy, but she helps campgrounds sell their properties. Dante is a business coach and it works with people that want to get franchised after they've been laid off or starting a new career. And he's going to talk about Jellystone and KOA, and we're going to put the two of those together. And Billy, I think I got you down to moderate that one.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I do. Yep. To do that one.
Audrey says she does know how to spell. But the other important thing is, I think, Audrey, one of these weeks when your gang is closer to New England, invite my wife and I to go along with you guys, and we'll do we'll tape what we can. We'll edit out what we can't, and then we'll, for our Wednesday night show.
You mean you'll tape what you can't and edit out what you can?
Something like that. We won't be. I'm sure we won't be able to show it all.
That's right. Right.
And that probably has a double meaning. But
this is a family show, right? It's a family.
This is a family show.
It's not a family show. No.
Or it won't be if we go with the Foley and their gang. We'll come with you one of these days, and we'll do a little segment with you guys. And
Walter just gave us a piece of trivia. Walter, you should have put it up there and made them guess it. But Walter has just informed us that the smallest national park in the U.S. is Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas.
Alaska.
Hot Springs, Alaska? No. Alaska's AK? But isn't Hot Springs in Arkansas?
He might have put it wrong. He might have put it wrong.
I can't believe Walter made a mistake. It's going to diminish his value to the show. Stressless camping. The Girl Camper Expo should be awesome, but that's because we are speakers. Well, that's good.
Tony.
Well, I'll have to check out and see what you do. Maybe I'll add you to one of our workshops on ours, Tony. We still got a couple of slots. Workshops, we can have as many workshops as we want. So we could possibly do that. No, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Should be AR. Okay. Okay. He had the right 2 digits, two letters for the state, but I had the right state. Let that be noted, Walter.
Noted. And on your birthday. We'll give you that one on your birthday.
Yeah. Billy, we got about 3 minutes left. What else should they know about Loons Haven? And if they go to your website, there's a button right in the middle that says check availability, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, you can book online, which is really convenient. You can also contact us if you have any questions about anything. The biggest calls I get are people saying, I can't book online. I'm having trouble. It's because we're booked. There's a lot of bookings. So if you go on there, the big difference that I have from a lot of campgrounds is there's pictures of every single site that I have. So you can select if you want site 3 or you want site 62. And then at the bottom, there's a 3-month calendar you can click on and you can see all the dates that are available. So that'll help you plan. And another thing that we do a little bit different is we open reservations for the next year, May 15th, the year prior. So that means this year's reservations have been open since May 15th, 2020. So that means May 15th, 2021. So in where are we at? 2 months. 2 months, reservations for 2022 will be open. And I highly recommend that you get on and do them May 15th at midnight.
Let me ask.
Circle that on your calendars.
Yeah. If you want that waterfront. But Billy, let me ask you a question. Last year we had somebody on, and it might have been Joel Holland or whatever from Harvest Host, but they said, if you're in an area that you want to go to a certain campground and the website says no availability, always tell me if this is true with you. He said, always call, because if there's 100 units in the facility, there's chances are that might be a cancellation. Obviously not for Audrey Foley. You're not going to pull 30 rigs in. But if it's one rig, wouldn't you still recommend people call you on the day of and see if something opened up?
Absolutely. And we do use the wait list. So, if there's a date that you're stuck in stone that you want that date, we can put you on a wait list for it if cancellations happen. I also recommend people calling because, maybe we can work on those dates a little bit if you're flexible with them. And I can say, hey, I have these dates available. Because if you're thinking you're coming Saturday to Saturday, maybe you could come in on Sunday and then you can actually enjoy your vacation, maybe just cut it shorter, extended on the other. So, if you're having trouble looking at reservations online, and that's not just for us, that's for any campground, I would recommend calling them and talking to them because they might have that, or maybe they have a site blocked off for something and they don't need to have it, so they could get you in.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, you opened May 15th this year,
we
right?
opened May 15th, yes. Okay. So 2 months. 2 months.
Next. Yeah. Okay, Kevin Hawkey, thank you very much. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Kevin. Audrey says we had good luck calling for smaller groups or even just when something isn't available.
Yeah.
Heidi Reed says, run, Audrey, run. No, when you are all booked up like that and they click on a date, does it come up and say, sorry, you lose? Or
it just says not available.
Hey, Bob, I just got a notification. I just got a notification that our friend Alan Warren's show starts right now. So, folks, if you don't have your RV if you're not full of your RV info for the day, right now, as soon as we're done, go to the RV Show USA. RV is spelled, Bob, spell RV. RV Show USA, right on Facebook. And our friend Alan Warren, whose wife is probably watching us here.
I'm surprised that RV didn't pop up because he hears his name because he's named RV.
Okay. So you gotta, for fairness now, you gotta show the other dog there too.
The other one's over here. I mean, Wally just sleeps. He just shakes his head like, the hell did you bother me for?
They're not even real dogs, but they nod their head. Yeah. Bob puts them in the back of his car and he attaches their brains to their directional signal. So if he's going left or right, their left eye blinks or the right eye blinks. And the ears move up too.
All right. Okay, folks. Sorry for
We're
the
done.
disconnect. Little Billy, thank you very much. Any
Thank you.
parting words for our friends? Heidi says, "Great show. Really enjoyed it." Well, now we go to the negotiation phase, Heidi. So that was all a trick just to get you excited about the show. Now we'll have to start the negotiation.
So what's it going to be called? Wednesday at the Loon?
No, the Loonies at Wednesday. Or the Loonies on Wednesday. How's that? I'm sure.
We might have
I'm
to
sure.
do that. Maybe we'll start our own podcast.
I think Billy was something really creative.
We'll get arrested in the state of Maine
If she's still working there after Mike watched the show tonight.
I already got a bunch of text messages from him.
Do you want to read any? No, don't. We don't want to do that. All right, guys. Happy trails. We'll see you down the road. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, John. And thank you very much, guests. Great input tonight. And we really appreciate it.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel.
All right. Talk to you later.